Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. I've been a busy boy of late. I've been buying up auction lots, left, right and centre, to be honest. And I thought I'd go through them. I did 2 auctions in 2 days. I've also got another lot lined up on... There's a gentleman selling me his collection towards the end of the month. And I've also got another auction lined up at the start of the month. Basically, I've just got a ton of postage that I want to use. I don't particularly want to give it away, so I'm just going to plough through it myself. And I actually bought a lot of auction lots yesterday. I'll count through them. I don't mind telling you the auctioneer on this occasion because I probably won't be using them again. So they were a very professional company, to be fair. We went and picked them up. By we, it was me and another dealer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 14 lots. Probably, I reckon, about a week's wages in it for me after I've broken everything down. But let's get into it. So there was 5 lots to begin with, and they were just large collections of coins. So me and the other dealer, we ended up driving. He drove to Sheffield from Kent, and I ended up sorting them in the car, and that was a fun task. This is Bullion. But going through what was in these coin lots, I did okay. There was a fair amount of silver, as you can see. I've written all the numbers down already. I think there was about £200 worth of silver. The actual lots only owe me 325. So I think at spot it's like £200 of silver. There's 2 of these as well. But I really enjoyed just going through it. Going through the coins, seeing what was what. It was a bit of a treasure hunt. There were some banknotes in there. I'll go through those in a bit. I'll tell you what, I think you're really going to enjoy them. I don't really deal with many banknotes, but when I do get them in, I don't have a problem getting them in if I think they're worth it. I won't go through the world currency coins, but they can be sold. You don't really throw them away or anything like that. There's absolutely tons of this stuff. I wouldn't be shocked if I have 1,000 coins. I think they're worth about 10p a coin, the old pennies. They're made of brass. I think they're 95% copper. So you're probably looking at, that's probably worth a bit more of that, Australian penny. You're probably looking at, yeah, 10p a coin. Maybe slightly more, maybe slightly less, but considering they're a freebie, I've just got to hit 325 in the collection. I've already done, what, 200 on the silver. I won't go through all of it. I think there's about 50, 60 crowns as well. They're worth 25p each. Now, I'll show you these before I get onto the usual lot. This was really interesting. So I put it in this box. There was some old notes. One was bought in a lot, and one was bought as a kind of a side lot to the 5 batches. Not really any money in this. These can be cashed in at the bank, believe it or not. So I bought a lot of, it was, how many notes? Let's have a look. I think there's about £270 worth of notes in one of the lots I bought, and it come in at 248, and I was like, well, all I have to do is take a trip to the bank. Now these, nothing really special about them. I will go through them just for your benefit. I remember these. Don't remember those. But we're just talking banknotes, you know, not a problem. Remember those. These were before me, these ones. But any bank will take these in if you ask them very politely. £50, not a problem. There's no real, like, I might offer them to people and just say you can have them for face value plus special. That's not a problem for me. I'll just count it up and move it on. But the reality is I can take them down the bank if I choose to do so. Now, when I bought the bundles, there was some notes in there that I counted £16 worth. There won't be £16 here because I've kind of amalgamated the two batches and taken out the best ones, but I counted £16 worth and it was 65, and I thought, oh, here we go. But looking at these, I'll go through those in a second. I'm going to have these graded purely because I think they're worthy of being saved for future generations. Now, where the value lands on them is, it doesn't really matter to me. I think as an act of preservation, these are absolutely stunning. I don't even know what these are worth. I just know that I want to preserve them for years to come. So I'll get them graded. That's not a problem on my end. But I could not believe it when they came in. I just went, wow, I've really lucked out on these. These are absolutely fantastic. The £10 notes are just as good. Look at that. Yeah, you got a crease. I think that's, no, it's not a crease, that's a line in the middle. That's a security feature. But they are fantastic. Top notes. So yeah, these won't be for sale. These are on the other batch, but again, I'm just gonna get them preserved just for historical reasons. I think they're worthy of doing that. They're not perfect by any stretch, not the 20s anyway, but I think they're good enough to pass them down to another generation. Anyway, that's me fawning over these notes. I feel genuinely quite blessed to have received these. Yes, there is a monetary aspect of it. Yes, I will do very well on it if I choose to sell, especially on these fivers. But I think there's also a societal element to it as well, where you have to preserve these things. It's our culture, it's our history, you know. It shouldn't be diluted and watered down and gotten rid of. There was these two American notes. I don't want to take these out because they're very they're not like modern notes, they're very papery. I'm going to send these off for grain as well. These just took my interest. I like my American bits. Now, I did speak to my guy. Oh, you won't be able to see it. He believes they're genuine. He was going over the signatures and he went, yeah, the ink looks right. So if they're fake, and if they come back fake, then I'll just send them back to the auctioneer. The auctioneer, by the way, was Sheffield Auction Gallery. They were quite friendly. Bumped into a gentleman who was picking up his coin lots. He seemed pretty chuffed with what he bought. He ended up buying some Maundy bits. Right. Oh no. 8 minutes in. No. Right. I bought this lot. This was a mistake because someone spoke to me when I put the bid in. I'm going to break even on this at best. If I lose a small amount, it's okay. You know, that's part and parcel of my job these days. That's 20 grams. These are crowns. The boxes are awful. The coins are not much better. Let's be honest with you. Okay, that's someone's culture. Like I shouldn't rag on that. I don't think they're great coins. They don't really speak to me as an individual. If that's a place that you enjoy in Bermuda, then fantastic. I bet it's probably more like paradise than the UK these days. This is why I used the blacks. Oh no, what have you done? Oh dear, I'll sort that after the video. This was interesting. This probably saved my day before I found out about the notes. I thought it was quite a poor auction until this came up. It's one gold sovereign by name only, and then it's a 8 gram platinum. Yeah, 8 gram and a 4 gram platinum, so sovereign, half sovereign. An interesting fact, so if you're ever bidding on platinum, and it doesn't really matter to me because you're not going to be bidding against me, when they say it's a platinum sovereign, it's not, because when you bid on a sovereign, it's 7.32 grams pure. When you bid on a platinum, they're 999, so you're actually getting more bang for your buck. Platinum's gone for the roof, so I end up getting these about 80, 85 under spot. It saved my auction because it wasn't looking that good on everything else until I went through those lots and found those notes. So as a whole, I think I got away with it due to that batch. Right, that's those. They're nice. I bought a lot that had this in. Peatful. This is probably worth about 80 quid, I reckon. Nice set. You don't see the Peatfalls that often. They are quite niche. People do collect the pound coins. They're not as collectible as other things. But the Peatfalls are even nicher than the pound coins. I quite like them myself. I think these are classic design, but I grew up with these coins, so someone who's new into the hobby, would they gravitate towards these designs? Maybe not, but for me, I always was fascinated by this one actually. I do like the P4 coins. So there was this, that was one part of it, and then there was a lovely jersey set. I'll get that one next. It came in, I'm not going to show you all of it, but again, it had the pound coins, it's got the 50p, so 20p, 10p. Oh, it's just a full set. I think I worked out if I was to sell this at spot, which it'll probably go for spot, unfortunately, I'm probably going to make 20, 30 quid on the pair, which is fine. You know, that's the auctioneer, by the way. You can check out what I paid, you can agree or disagree with my valuations. And by the way, valuations are it's a spectrum, you know. This lot here, I've probably overpaid for it, although you probably could separate it. So it's a 2000 Millennium set, but it's got the Maundy bits in. I'm just putting the COA back in. It's fallen out. Do I want to separate it out? Probably not. I think it deserves better than that, but we shall see. Just put it in. This is the set. This is where the money's at. So I'm thinking I might take this out. And ironically, I actually won a 2000 Maundy set on the other auction. But as a whole, I probably overpaid on this. It's okay. I was looking at it, and in my head I was like, well, you know, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't mind being wrong by small amounts if it means that when I'm right, I can do better than that. You know, it's not a problem. It'll move some postage. I'll have a think about this. I'd love to sell it as a set. I might have to break it down. I don't know. I think as a set, it's worthy of a collection, but it's whether or not people want to own it. The Millennium stuff was printed to high heaven for obvious reasons. Like last two lots, there was a small gold lot. Of course, there's a small gold lot. These are 25th coins. These come in under spot. I bought these for postage, really. I was looking at it and I just thought, even if I break even on them, they're very useful for sending out postage. I've literally turned into the post office. My main income is postage these days. I think that says more about my want for using the postage than it does about my want for running a business. But hey, it's okay. But yeah, these are quite popular. And last but not least, I bought, and I really love this set. I paid about 100 quid for it. It's a shame about the box because there is a big scratch on it. But this is a very interesting, cute little Roman coin set. I don't really deal with many Roman coins. However, I know a few bits. Now this coin here, I'm going to go through the coins individually just because I think it'd be nice for you guys. Okay, silver is not really, it's not a great coin, let's be honest. Again, this one's not an amazing coin. But as a set, it tells a story. This is not bad. I'm probably going to put 150 on the set alone. Will it sell for 150? I don't know. It owes me 100, but it's the type of set that if it doesn't sell, I'll be quite happy to keep it. It's not a problem. It's quite cute. And these are your non-silver coins, copper coins. And then it comes with a booklet explaining the rise and fall of the Roman Empire. It's actually a set made by the London Mint Office, so you can only imagine what they have charged for this. Overall, I think it's a very cute set. You know, not a problem. Anyway, that's the lot for today. There will be another video, or there's going to be a few videos coming in because I'm a very busy boy at the moment. That's through choice. I don't need to be. I think it'd be a waste just to not use the postage. To be honest, I built up this position and I think it's good if I just get it out of the way. What have I done to this desk? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.